Good morning, my kindergarten math wizards. I know it's a little chilly today. I am glad to be here reviewing what we did last week. So our last lesson that we did was decomposing. So remember, decomposing means to break apart or to break down. So we start with the whole number. So that's how many in the group as a whole, and we break it into two groups. So think, we have 5 apples. How many can you put in group 1 basket? How many can you put in group 2 basket? All right. So when we talk about decomposing, we start with the whole number first. So our whole number, let's say we had 5 apples. How many can I put over here? I start counting. 1, 2, then I can count on. That means I did 1, 2, then I have 3, 4, 5 here. You can only have 5 counters because that's how many apples you had. I can't draw 5 here and 5 here. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to break apart into my 2 groups because 2 plus 3 makes 5. So you're starting with your whole number first and breaking it into group 1 and group 2. When we have our picture here to use, we have 5 apples. So this is the same thing we did when we were learning addition. We had our counters or our picture already drawn, and we needed to use circles to break it apart into 2 different groups. Sometimes we just drew it. Some of you learned how to just draw a line to separate group 1 and group 2. You still have to use all the counters that are there. I can't just say, oh, well, it's 1 plus 1. No, you have 5. So let's say if I draw my circles here. Hi, good morning. All right, sorry about that. Let's get back to it. So I've drawn my 2 circles. I shouldn't see you just circle these 2. That's not how we break apart 5. You have to create group 1 and group 2 because group 1 plus group 2. So there we go. We've drawn our group 1 and our group 2. Let's write the equation. Now this is where some of us forgot when the equal sign is first, we start with the whole number. When you are asked to decompose a number, you start with the big whole number first. What number did we decompose? 5. So 5 goes first. 5 equals, there's Gus the plus. So I know this is group 1 plus this is group 2. Group 1 was 2. Plus our group 2 has 1, 2, 3 in it. That's how we write the equation, okay? Now, let's make sure you have your worksheet in front of you. All right, so we're gonna start on this side. I'm gonna write my name first because the first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and write my name if I don't just throw my pencil on the floor in accident. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna write my name. You need to make sure that you are writing your name at the top of the paper. Okay, from there, I'm going to take a look at this box right here. Remember, you can always pause this if you need a little bit of extra time, but make sure you follow through and listen to the whole lesson. Please get off of the table. You're shaking it. You can't touch the table. You need to listen to the whole video because even though some of you may be able to look through, not with this lesson, but I know when we were working with the number line, some of you rushed through and did that worksheet on your own. I have different strategies and different tips that I give you through this lesson, so make sure you listen and follow through and that you're doing it correctly. So here they showed us what are 2 different ways that you can decompose 3. So how can you break apart 3? Well, they put 2 shovels here and 1 shovel here. So they said we can decompose the number 3, the whole number equals group 1 is 2 plus 1. So 3 equals 2 plus 1. Here, they broke it apart as 3 equals 3 plus 0. How can we decompose 4? Well, 4 equals 3 plus 1. Or 4 equals 2 plus 2. See, group 1 plus group 2. All right, so now we're gonna work through and we're gonna do some of these together and then I'm gonna have you do some on your own, all right? So this first one, how can you decompose 2? Circle groups to show a way to decompose 2. Write the equation to match. So I'm going to draw my circles and make 2 groups using all of the boats that are there. And now let's write our equation. I am decomposing the number 2. So I start with that whole number 2 first. So 2 equals group 1 plus group 2. Group 1 has 1. How many are in group 2? 1. Good job. Because 2 equals 1 plus 1. Great job, my friends. Now let's turn the page over. And let's look right here at the blocks. So how can you decompose 5? Circle groups to show a way to decompose 5. Write the equation to match. Remember, an equation is the numbers and the signs, and you have to have them in the right place. So you need to pay attention. This lesson gives you the signs. You need to make sure you're putting the numbers in the right place. Let's look right here. So we already practiced. Earlier, I showed you how to decompose 5 as 5 equals 2 plus 3. So let's do it a different way this time. I'm going to make my 2 groups. I'm going to circle using all of the blocks. There should not be any left out of a group. We're going to circle. And then we have to circle all the remaining blocks in our group 2. Now let's write our equation. What number were we decomposing? 5. Great job. So we're going to write that first. 5. If you forget from the math story that you heard, you can always count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write that right there. Let's make my 5 look a little bit better. All right. Equals, what's in our group 1? 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Good job. 5 equals 1 plus 4. Because 1 and 4 makes 5. All right. Let's look at the next one. Number 3 with the lemons. How can you decompose 4? Circle groups to show a way to decompose 4 and write the equation to match. So let's go ahead and let's break these apart. So I'm going to draw, I'm going to make it a little bit different. All right, and I got to circle my remaining one here. Remember, you should only have 2 circles for 2 groups, and you have to use all of the lemons. All right, what number are we decomposing? We're decomposing 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole number. How many there are all together first? 4 equals, all right, there's our group 1 plus group 2. Group 1, we put 3. See, 1, 2, 3. Group 2, we put 1 because 3 and 1 equals 4. So 4 equals 3 plus 1. Get off of the table. All right, down here, we are going to decompose 3. How can you decompose 3 2 different ways? So that means you have to use different numbers. So this equation should not be the same as this equation. Different ways we can decompose 3. So I'm going to work with you on the first one, and then I want you to do it differently over here. So let's look here. How can we decompose 3? We're going to draw our circles to make our 2 groups. And I'm going to show you guys a tricky one because I know some of us struggled with this last week. So if I circled this as my group 1, how do I write the equation to match here? How many are we decomposing all together? 1, 2, 3. That equal sign is first. I write the whole number first. 3 equals, my group 1 has 3. How many are left over for my group 2? Are there any left? Am I going to write 3? No. Am I going to write 1? No. So like if I had a circle here, how many hats are left over in there? How many?
0.
0. Good job. We write 0. So 3 equals 3 plus 0. Great job. All right, I want you guys to do this one over here on your own. How can you decompose 3? So draw your circles to make your groups and then write the equation to match. Remember, you start with the whole number first. What number are we decomposing? Equals group 1 plus group 2. Okay, make sure you've completed all of that before you get it turned in or checked by your teacher. All right, friends? Good work today. I will see you next time.